Let's do it like this and do it like that. Do it like this and take it on back. They said if you were white, you're alright. And if you're brown, stick around. But if you're black, oh brother, get back, get back, get back. Ha ha! What's up, guys? What y'all know about Big Bill Broonzy? This is the gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. Check this out, guys. I saw this article in The Root. You guys know how much I just adore The Root. Well, I saw this article concerning one Mr. Idris Elba. And Idris Elba is saying something that I have been saying for years. If you've been watching my videos, you have heard me say before that until so-called black people get over calling themselves black, we will never move out from where we are as far as our own self-esteem now, okay? That's all this has to do with. Until we can do that and start identifying more so as human beings, then we will continue to struggle in this battle with our own self-esteem and self-respect. So listen, guys, I want to get into what Idris Elba had to say and some of the pushback, because believe it or not, we had a response from John Boyega concerning this, and I'm going to get into that as well. But I want to get into first what Idris Elba had to say. You guys can tell me what you think about this in the comment section. Of course, you're going to get a piece of my mind as well. So, starting off, Idris Elba says, and he was in this article, by the way, he was in an interview with Esquire UK, and big brother Idris says, of course, I'm a member of the black community. You say a prominent one, but when I go to America, I'm a prominent member of the British community. Oh, UK's in the house. If we spend half the time not talking about the differences, but the similarities between us, the entire planet would have a shift in the way we deal with each other. And he goes on to say, now as humans, we are obsessed with race, and that obsession can really hinder people's aspirations, hinder people's growth. Racism should be a topic for discussion. Sure, racism is very real, but from my perspective, it's only as powerful as you allow it to be. Now, I stopped describing myself as a black actor when I realized it put me in a box. We've got to grow, Idris says. We've got to. Our skin is no more than that. It's just skin. Rant over. But it's not over. He goes on to say again. Now, I did acting because I thought that's a great profession and I could do a good job at it. As you get up the ladder, you get asked what it's like to be the first black to do this or that. Well, it's the same as it would be if I were white. It's the first time for me. I don't want to be the first black anything. I'm the first Idris, he says. Now, of course, he's right. I think this is where we're stuck. This is the reason why whenever you get Viola Davis in a new movie, she has to go on and on and on about how she's the first black this, the first black that, the first black woman. You should be recognizing me. How dare the Oscars not award me? It's got to be racism. Oscars so white. I want my participation award. Just because of the fact that I am black. Black lives matter after all. And this is what I'm talking about. This is how you get sidetracked. When you get so hung up and stuck on being black, this is what you get. You get distracted from your own humanity, your own human rights, your own human dignity, because you want special consideration for being black. And this is something that actually goes against what we were taught by the great esteemed Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said that you judge a person by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. But where we're stuck today is that we have to believe in being black. And I got a theory about that. Why do we have to? Why do we have to hold on to being black? Because it protects our status as victims. That's what I believe. Yeah, I said it. I believe it. But until I get, let me just put that on the back burner for a minute, because I do want to get into the response by one Mr. John Boyega. Give it up for John Boyega. John Boyega says, Ray! No, John Boyega says, and he put this on Twitter, all right? John Boyega is responding. Now look, I think we should fixate on who's typecasting and putting actors in boxes because of this, not on making weird adjustments for them. We continuously focus on what we have to do so they won't do this or that. Very worrying. We black, and that's that. Now it's interesting, John Boyega, how when you want to emphasize being black, you use broken English. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. You've heard me say this before. I can't co-sign with just being black across the board because being black means different things to different people. And all too often, as I said many times, for many black people, being black simply means the opposite of being white. So if white people are known for talking so-called proper, then you consider yourself being black by saying things like, we black and that's that. You know what I'm saying? That's where we go with it. Unfortunately, there are too many black kids in school today who, when they are getting good grades, when they are reading, things like that, excelling, people consider them, or they call them or accuse them of wanting to be white. Why, when I first started doing this YouTube thing and I started talking about geek culture, I had a lot of black people come into my comment section saying, you trying to be white, you trying to be like those white boys. Dude, I was born into this. I've been like this my entire life, but I can't get credit for that because people have this idea of what black is, this preconceived notion of what is and what is not black. You can get your black card removed if you don't say and think the right things. Joe Biden feels empowered to say you ain't black if you don't vote for me. If you don't vote for Democrats, then you ain't black. It limits us. And John Boyega was talking about we have to get to the bottom of who is putting us in these boxes. We are putting ourselves in these boxes by insisting that we be identified as anything other than powerful humans. The problem is that too many black people who consider themselves to be black, and it gets confusing, guys, because I'd rather just talk directly to us. But we don't do that. We just like telling white people off. We like being distracted by the fact that what I'm saying can be heard by white people. So you're turned off by the fact that I can talk as freely as I talk without putting myself under some damn white gaze. Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that in front of white people. Oh, who do you think you are? You're playing up to white people. No, I'm talking to you. That's the thing. That's the difference. I have the ability to be able to do that because I respect you as human beings. I do. That doesn't mean that I'm ashamed of who I am. And that's the problem. Like I said before, you give all the most positive attributes of humanity to white people. And so you question any so-called black person who frees himself from those bonds. So you can't identify with what Idris Elba is saying because you're like, how dare he say that? How dare he? We want to be black. We want to be black. There's nothing wrong with being black. The only thing is, guys, I have to ask you, like seriously, up and down, who told you that you were black in the first place? Like, why are you black? Why are we black? Who called us black first? I dare say it's probably the same people who called us nigger. Because over the course of history, we've been called colored, we've been called Negro, we've been called all types of things. All right? So now we want to be called black. You know, it used to be black Americans, used to be Afro-Americans. No, don't call me that. Don't call me this. If I was white, I'd be fucking confused all over the place. What do you want me to call you? No wonder they say you people. That's the safest way to do it. But no, even so, what do you mean you people? You know damn well what he means. He means you people. You know what I mean? But no, this is how we are. This is how we confuse ourselves. This is how we confuse our children. And so Idris Elba had a bright idea. And I think anybody else, I think I heard Morgan Freeman say something to this degree also. You get past the racism thing when you stop putting yourself in a box, when you stop marginalizing yourself. Yes, all lives matter. Stop looking for your special participation prize. It's the only way. When you plug yourself into the human equation, you're trying to be white. No, stay with me, man. Stay with me. I'm talking about claiming your humanity. That's what I'm talking about. Not doing it to ourselves. But unfortunately, this is something that continues to elude us. We're not getting that concept where we have to be human. True outrage only comes from you feeling that your human rights have been violated. Because of course, like I said at the top of this video, black means different things to different people. To some people, being black means ghetto. To some people, being black means being proud. What did James Brown say? It loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Okay, but that was over 50 years ago, and we're still out in the streets marching, talking about Black Lives Matter. At this point, do we even believe it? I've questioned that before, and I will continue to question it. So I think this is a worthy ponderance. I think it's worth thinking about. It's worth pondering over. It's worth discussing. So I wanted to bring it to your attention. Is Idris Elba onto something? Does he have a point? Once again, I had pointed out, like a few videos ago, when it comes to black voice actors, we insist now. We let people talk us into, we let people talk us into believing that only black people can do black cartoon characters without realizing that, once again, you put yourself in a box, because the vast majority of cartoon characters are not necessarily black human beings. What if it's an animal? What if it's Bugs Bunny? What if it's Scooby-Doo? You can't do it because they're not black. You insisted on it. So once again, you fell for it again. Closed-mindedness is what we're talking about here. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to appreciate this message, but that's okay, because I have been to the mountaintop and I have seen the promised land, and the promised land is for human beings who can love one another despite their skin color. Because let me tell you something, when God put life into you, he didn't say this is going to be a black person. He said, this is my child. This is a human being. He will go forth into life, or she will go forth into life, and they will live. That's what it is. You put these titles on each other. God made this world diverse for a reason. You can be proud of who you are. I'm proud of everything that I am. We are here to appreciate God's diversity, to understand just how magnificent our Creator is, in the fact that we are created, and all of creation is so distinct. It's like looking at a sunrise. It's like looking at a sunset. It's like looking at flowers. It's like looking at the clouds. Wow, it's beautiful. The diversity of people are beautiful. That's humanity. That's life. So guys, you can get in the comment section and let me know how you feel about what Idris Elba said. Do you agree? Do you not understand what he's saying? Do you strongly disagree? It doesn't mean giving up your identity. To me, it means claiming your identity. But I've said enough. It's your turn to get into the comment section. You're always welcome. Thank you guys for listening. I will catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.